All right, it's time to get ready for our mid-unit 4 test. And so with the first part, we're just multiplying these binomials with binomials and binomials with trinomials, just multiplying these polynomials. Just make sure that you multiply everything on the left side to everything on the right side. And so we'll do 7x times x, which is 7x squared, 7x times 1, 7x, 2 times x, 2x, and 2 times 1, which is 2. Once you do that, combine like terms. We have 7x squared plus 9x plus 2, and that's the answer. On number 2, same thing. We'll multiply the x with the x squared to get x cubed. X times negative 4x is negative 4x squared. Negative 3x. Well, that's terrible, but it works. All right, now as I multiply the negative 4, I'm going to go ahead and stack the like terms. We have negative 4x squared plus 16x plus 12. And so we have x cubed minus 8x squared plus 13x plus 12. Number 3, we've got x squared minus 3x minus 9x plus 27. X squared minus 12x plus 27. This squared right here means there's 2 of them. And so I'll go ahead and rewrite it x minus 9 and x minus 9, and then FOIL or double distribute, however you want to say it, to everything like the previous. X squared minus 9x plus 81. X squared minus 18x plus 81. X squared minus 2x plus 2x minus 4. These cancel out. X squared minus 4. And last one, again, this is squared, so I'll go ahead and just rewrite it next to it. 5x plus 1, there's 2 of them. And then the same thing, 25x squared plus 5x plus 5x plus 1. 25x squared plus 10x plus 1. And so there's the multiplying section. Now going on to the next section, we're going to be factoring the polynomials. So this has 3 terms. There's no GCF, so we go into the x method. We want to know what multiplies the negative 15 and adds the negative 2. And so that's going to be a negative 5 and a positive 3. My a is 1, so we're going to divide by 1, which doesn't simplify. And so it's x minus 5 and x plus 3. Number 8, I'm first going to GCF. I see they're all all even, and so I know I can for sure take out a 2. So let's try that. So 2, and we've got 6x squared minus 13x minus 5. So now we've got 3 terms on the inside, so we're going to put a times c on top, which is 6 times negative 5, negative 30. Negative 13 on bottom, so negative 15 and positive 2 will work. And we're going to divide by our a of 6 and simplify both fractions. So over here we have 1 over 3, and over here we've got divide by 3, negative 5 over 2. So this reads 2x minus 5 and 3x plus 1. And then we'll put that 2 in the front. Don't forget about that GCF. Leave that in the front and we're done. Number 9, we've got negative 6 on top, 1 on bottom. So we're multiplying to a negative, adding to a positive, which means we're going to subtract. So we want 3 and negative 2. And we're going to divide by 2, which becomes negative 1 over 1. So 2x plus 3 and x minus 1. Number 10, let's see, I can divide all of them by 3. So we have 3x squared minus 2x minus 5. So we have negative 15 on top, negative 2 on bottom. So negative 5, positive 3. We'll divide by our a of 3 and simplify those fractions. So we get 3x minus 5 and x plus 1. And keep that GCF in the front. Number 11, I want to know what multiplies a positive 9, adds a negative 6. Since we're multiplying to a positive, adding to a negative, they're both going to be negative. And it's going to be 3 and 3, dividing by 1. And so x minus 3, or x minus 3 squared. These are both the same thing. And so that's my answer. Let me clean this up a little bit. All right. And number 12, There's no GCF, so I want to know what multiplies a 21 and adds a negative 22. So it's going to be negative 21 and negative 1. Divide by 7. And so we get x minus 3 and 7x minus 1. All right, going on to number 13. Well, GCF first, so I can take out a 3, and I can also take out an x from each of these. And when I take out a 3x, I'm left with 4x minus 1. On this one, I can take out a 3, but I can't take out the x because there isn't an x on the right side. And so we're left with x squared minus, and 48 divided by 3 is 16. And then I'm going to see if I can factor this further. This is the difference of squares. The square root of x squared is x. The square root of 16 is 4. So x plus 4, x minus 4 with a 3 on the outside. Let's see, so this one, no GCFs. I'm going to multiply to 30, add to negative 17, so both will be negative. Looks like 15 and 2 will work. So we've got x minus 1 and 15x minus 2. Let's see, there's no GCF on this one. It's two terms, so we're going to look at difference of squares. The square root of 144x squared is 12x. The square root of 81 is 9. Which actually, I could have GCF'd on this one. Let's try and take out a 3. I'm going to go back to the beginning. And so 144 divided by 3 is 48. And 81 divided by 3 is 27. So again, it looks like I can take out another 3. So let's try taking out a 6. We can take out a 9 actually. All right, so we're going to take out a 9. It looks like they're both divisible by 9. So we're going to take out a 9. And we're going to be left with 16x squared minus 9. And so I knew they had a GCF because when I had the 12x plus 9, I can see that both of these are divisible by 3. And so that's why I went back to try and find a GCF. So we have a 9 in front. The square root of 16x squared is 4x. The square root of 9 is 3. So 4x plus 3 and 4x minus 3. And for an example, if you didn't GCF at the beginning, and you started just going difference of squares, you could have done that and you would have gotten the same answer at the end. 12x plus 9 and 12x minus 9. But then now I can see, oh, I can GCF out of here. And so if I take out a 3 from here, I'm left with 4x plus 3. Take out a 3 from here, I'm left with 4x minus 3. And then these 3's on the outside combine to make 3 times 3, which is 9. 4x plus 3. 4x minus 3. And so if you don't see a GCF, that's okay. Maybe you'll see it at the end. All right. Starting on number 17, we're going to actually be solving these. So we want to find what the root is, what the x-intercept is. So I want to get everything to one side. I'm going to move this over to be positive. So positive x squared, this is already on the left side. And this is going to move over as well to be a positive 8. And we're going to solve by factoring. So again, I want to know what multiplies the 8 and adds the 6. That's 6. That's going to be 4 and 2. So we've got x plus 4 and x plus 2. So when I set this equal to 0, I'm going to subtract 4 over x equals negative 4. Subtract 2 over x equals negative 2. Those are my two solutions. On this one, my a is already positive, so I'm going to move everything else over. 3x squared minus 16x minus 12. 16 is not divisible by 3, and so it doesn't look like there's a GCF. We have negative 36 on top and 16 on bottom. Sorry, negative 16. So we have negative 18 and 2, which does multiply negative 36, adds to negative 16. And so we've got x minus 6 and 3x plus 2. So when we set these equal to 0, we get x equals 6. On this side, we're going to subtract the 2 over, so 3x equals negative 2, divide by 3, x equals negative 2 over 3. So 2x squared minus 6x is equal to 0. We're going to GCF out 2x. And then set each of these equal to 0. And so if 2x equals 0, x equals 0, and x equals 3. So on this one, we're going to move the x over, which actually cancels out. And so we have 4x squared, move the 9 over, minus 9 equals 0. This is going to be difference of squares, 2x plus 3 and 2x minus 3. And now we'll set each of these equal to 0. So on this one, we're going to subtract 3 over and divide by 2. We'll add 3 over and divide by 2. And we'll go to our last page, which is again going to be solving. But on this one, we're using the quadratic formula. So again, we need to get everything to one side. So we're going to move over that 5. And now we're going to plug everything into the formula. So the formula is negative b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. Where this is my a, this is my b, and this is my c. And so the opposite of b is going to be negative 3 plus or minus the square root of b squared. 3 squared is 9. Minus 4 times 2 times negative 5, all over 2 times 2. So in my calculator, I'm going to start off by finding that piece underneath the square root, that discriminant right there. So 9 minus 4 times 2 times negative 5 gets me 49. And 2 times 2 is 4. And that's enough work, really. And so now you can just plug it in the calculator to get your two answers. If you wanted to piece it apart, you could. The square root of 49 is 7, and you can go that route, or you can just put it in the calculator just like so. Negative 3 plus square root of 49 over 4 gets 1. And then we'll copy and paste that down and change that plus to a minus sign, and negative 5 over 2. This one's already in order, set equal to 0, so we're going to have the opposite of b, so positive 6, plus or minus the square root of negative 6 squared. If you want to put it in the calculator, make sure you put the negative 6 inside parentheses, squared on the outside, or else your calculator will give you the wrong answer. So we're going to have 36 minus 4 times 1 times 3, all over 2 times 1. And so again, we'll find that piece underneath the square root. And so we'll do 36 minus 4 times 1 times 3, which gets 24, all over 2. And then alpha y equals, to get that fraction feature, 6 plus square root of 24, all divided by 2. I'll round to the nearest hundredth. I'll go to that second decimal place. That 9 is going to make it bump up to a 5. So 5.45. Copy and paste and change it to a minus, and 0.55. This one again is already in order, so we're going to have the opposite of b, so 7 plus or minus the square root of 49, because that's negative 7 squared, minus 4 times 1 times 4, all over 2 times 1. And so the underneath part, 49 minus 4 times 1 times 4 gets me 33. And so now we'll plug it in. Alpha y equals 7 plus square root of 33, all divided by 2. And there's my two answers right there. And so 6.37 and 0.63. And last one, you got to move things over, so 25x squared minus 20x minus 6 equals 0. Move them over, they change signs. So the opposite of b, so we're going to have 20 plus or minus the square root of 400 minus 4 times 25 times negative 6, all over 2 times 25. And so we'll plug in that underneath portion, 400 minus 4 times 25 times negative 6 gets me 1,000. and 2 times 25 is 50. Now put in 20 plus square root of 1,000, all divided by 50. And with the minus as well, there's my two answers right there. 1.03 and negative 0.23. All right. Well, good luck on this test. Let me know if you have any questions.